You know what WWE needs right now? Good television, actually, because this ain't it. God really lost that match, huh? What WWE also needs is a lot more legit factions. I mean, yes, we do have a few factions in the WWE, but I want a faction that basically tries to destroy the WWE. I want a big faction storyline again. To be fair, we got that on SmackDown. So far, I'm not enjoying it, but I do trust Akira Tozawa's ninjas. I mean, they had a chainsaw. NWO did not have a chainsaw. A lot of potential. In this video, I want to talk about some of the best and worst wrestling factions we've seen over the years. Not all, just some. Chill in the comments. Just some of the most memorable. Like League of Nations. It goes from perfect, good, okay, bad, to horrible. Dude, if Primo had a faction. Imagine this. Primo, Epico, Carlito. Dude! The Cologne brothers. Wow. Okay, so let's start with the NWO. I don't really need to say anything. This is just the most obvious one. Obviously perfect. Has to be probably the best wrestling faction of all time because I could be wrong. I think D-Generation X wouldn't exist without the NWO. It basically changed wrestling. You know, and I don't want to sound like this guru who watched wrestling in the 90s. So obviously I didn't, but you learn stuff, you see stuff, and you get the point. I don't need to explain that again. It was so iconic, people wore t-shirts everywhere. And that's one of the most fascinating stories about NWO. Like, you saw that shirt on people who didn't even watch wrestling. That's awesome. Again, I didn't see it. I'm just saying. The last time we seen something similar was the Nexus, you know, and I think it was a success. A lot of people didn't like the Nexus, but whatever. NWO, whether it's 3 people, 50,000, I don't know how many members they had, always good. D-Generation X. So, okay, I think I'll have to put it right here. I do like NWO more, but I think the Generation X is also a perfect faction. These two factions created some of the most memorable moments during the Attitude Era. The Shield. Okay, so I think they're good. I don't think they're perfect. I mean, they were great. All 3 people had personalities, except for Roman Reigns most of the time because he was just that muscle dude. But still, you know, it's kind of weird how Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, was the last one to win the WWE Championship, and we all thought he's the face of the Shield. You know, Seth Rollins, I always looked at Seth Rollins like a mid-card guy. This guy is gonna be the Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, and he actually succeeded in the main event. That's pretty wild. League of Nations. What can be said about League of Nations? Absolutely perfect, because what's better than making a faction? Hear me out. 4 talented dudes. Rusev, awesome. Wade Barrett, amazing. Alberto Del Rio, fine. Sheamus, awesome. You got 4 talented people. 4 main eventers, former main eventers. You make them into a group, into a faction, just to feed them to a big dog. Is there anything better? Sounds like a perfect booking idea. Amazing storytelling. One dude beats the living crap out of 4 some former WWE champions like Alberto and Sheamus. Awesome. Okay, dude, it was horrible. At first I had a lot of hope. I mean, it looks promising. You have Rusev, Wade Barrett, Alberto, Sheamus, but I don't remember a faction being this ruined with so much potential. Wow, they even ruined the WWE 12 storyline. Come on. The Spirit Squad. Okay, this is an easy one. How is this even a thing? The Hart Foundation. Didn't see a lot. I don't think they're as iconic. I'm gonna put them at okay just because I didn't really see a lot of stuff from them, but I know they're good because every dude right here is super talented. The Bullet Club. So, I don't know, many versions of it. AJ Styles is a leader, Finn Balor, Kenny Omega. I think I wasn't a big fan, honestly, but it's interesting how a faction that is not from the WWE was so popular. in some New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's pretty wild. I'm gonna put them at good. That's actually pretty wild. The Four Horsemen. Okay, without this faction, we wouldn't see a lot more factions. This just has to be at perfect. The Inner Circle. So here's the thing about the Inner Circle. I think they're good, but it just lacks something. I don't know what it is, but I still think it's absolutely amazing. I'm gonna put them at, good. Yeah, but they just need something for it to be perfect, because I feel like Chris Jericho is still kinda carrying the group. The Wyatt family, I think they're okay. I wasn't a big fan. Evolution, I'm gonna leave them at perfect, because how the concept. Triple H is the present, Ric Flair is the past, Randy Orton is the future, and then there's Batista, who was actually older than Triple H. That shocked me when I learned that. Wow. So, man, if it wasn't for Evolution, maybe I wouldn't even be watching wrestling. I'm not saying it was the best, but it was my favorite WWE faction of all time. When they came back in 2013, man, I marked out. Okay, The Authority. I think they were pretty bad. Nostalgia is strong in wrestling. You always remember the good old days. So, when I think about 2016, 14, 13, 12, 11, on and on, I think they're great, even though maybe they weren't. When I remember this specific era of Seth Rollins with J&J Security, I hate it. That was probably my least favorite era of the WWE. Very bad. I liked it with Randy Orton, Triple H, Randy Orton, Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, basically that Daniel Bryan storyline. I think that was awesome. With Seth Rollins, I absolutely hated it. And he was a pretty lame champion, let's be honest. Okay, this has to be... I would put it at horrible, but, Brody Lee really changed it, so I'm gonna leave it at bad. They have no personalities, nothing, because you can't really show your personality when you all look the same. I call this faction low ratings. Man, that sucked. I don't even know if it's a real faction, but they kinda were. I love Drew McIntyre, one of my favorite WWE wrestlers. King Corbin is, well, he's there. Bobby is decent, but they were so bland together. When I look at this picture, I just see bad Raw, a different version of it. So again, even worse, Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre, and Elias. Why would they listen to Shane McMahon? Why would they care? They didn't even get anything out of it. They helped Shane win matches, and that's it. For nothing. Horrible. A lot of bad factions. Okay. The New Day. I guess it's perfect, It has to be one of the best tag teams of all time, but I think it's still a faction because we got 3 people. I just think they need some character change, maybe turn heel and change their characters completely, like come out with suits and ties, Legacy, okay, I love Randy Orton, I like Ted DiBiase, I liked Cody, but I don't think it was as good as Evolution or even The Shield, so I think it was okay. Right to Censor, okay, they were just annoying. I'm gonna put them at bad. Straight Edge Society. Again, it was a one-man faction. It was CM Punk with Lou Gallows and Joey Mercury and Selena, I think. Serena. Basically the bald chick. CM Punk is a crazy dude, man. He decided to shave his girlfriend. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. I did like the whole point of this faction. I think it was great. But when you look at the members, it's not that special. But it was still very, very cool moments. Okay. The Brood. I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't good. It wasn't perfect. They weren't even a team for that long. The Core. Okay, so... Okay, let's talk about the Nexus first. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me. Okay. The Nexus. Perfect. Man, matches like WWE versus the Nexus. I want something that in the WWE again. Just basically, if you lose this match, WWE is no longer WWE. It's all Nexus. And yes, they were ruined, obviously. And I've just decided to put the wrong Nexus. Yeah, these ones. But it was still very entertaining moments, amazing debut. And even though John Cena basically buried them, and most of these guys are not even wrestling anymore, they were pretty great. I just wish WWE never ruined them and actually gave everyone a championship. Imagine that, Wade Barrett with the WWE Championship, Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater with the Tag Team Championships, David Otunga with the Intercontinental Championship, Ryback, whatever he was called, with the United States Championship. I feel like it had a lot more potential, but, you know, it is what it is. Then we got the new Nexus. So basically, it was CM Punk, who was a commentator, and then he decided to attack John Cena, joined the Nexus, which was that was a great moment, actually. Yeah. We got Batista 2.0, Mason Ryan. Basically, it was Nexus plus, well, it was only David Otunga from the old Nexus, plus some Season 2 NXT guys like Michael McGillicuddy. What kind of Michael McGillicuddy? Michael McGillicuddy, you know, Curtis Axel, Bray Wyatt actually, and someone else. Unlike the old Nexus, it didn't really work that well in my opinion. It was CM Punk with goons, because CM Punk was already a big star. Wade Barrett was not, so it kind of made a bit more sense. I don't know. I think it was good still. No, okay, yeah, it was okay. Core. It was basically the Nexus with Ezekiel Jackson, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. But I think it was okay. I like their theme song. And that's basically it. I think they had a lot more potential, but they were okay. I kinda treat them as the Nexus. I mean, it's the same thing. The Elite. Okay, they're good. They're good. I don't know if they're even a faction. Alliance, maybe? I don't know. But I like them. Okay, so the Hurt Business, new faction, I kinda dig it because they're not playing around. They're a legit faction. They're serious. And I kinda like that. I think we need a couple of more members, but I think, you know what? I think it's okay. So far, it's okay. It's not bad, it's not good, it's okay. Nation of Domination was, I mean, I guess good. Without this faction, we maybe wouldn't have The Rock, you know. This was bad in my opinion, the club. AJ Styles, Lou Gallows, and Carl Anderson. It was basically AJ Styles with a couple of jobbers. In the WWE, I mean. So, yeah, sorry. As much as I like them, but, you know. The Undisputed Era is good. I think it's good. As one of the best factions we had in the wrestling history, in my opinion. So this is my list. I think it's fair enough. Let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about it? I'm making these videos because I really want to get back into wrestling. It's not really about ranking them, it's more like just remembering the good old days. Thank you for watching the video, The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.